Come on.
We know you're in there. Come on out and nobody needs to get hurt.
What are we gonna do?
They ain't coming out. Get down! Everybody get down!
Hi, I'm Nat. He's Matt, and we got your geek news right here.
And this week it's a peek at the first film from the Hughes brothers in almost a decade, The Book of Eli.
This one is rocking an amazing cast with Denzel Washington and Gary Oldman right off the top, plus Mila Kunis, Ray Stevenson, Malcolm McDowell, Michael Gambon, and Tom Waits.
Now, the directors, who debuted with the 1-2 punch of Menace to Society and Dead Presidents, went into obscurity after 2001's Jack the Ripper period piece From Hell kind of underperformed at the box office.
But now the Hughes brothers are back with an end-of-the-world tale of biblical proportions.
Now, fusing elements of a classic Western with a post-apocalyptic landscape is no easy task, take it from me. And from what we've seen of the Book of Eli, it looks like it might just deliver.
30 winters ago, the war tore a hole in the sky. Only a few survived. Our only hope is in my hands.
Eli is the mysterious, almost man with no name, you know. Nobody knows his name throughout the movie. That's the throwback to the Clint Eastwood character. It's very mysterious, doesn't want any trouble.
The way Denzel Washington has played it has not been seen in film before. There is a humility there, and there is a guy that could just take you out in a second.
What do you want with me?
Straight to the point. I like that. I like that.
My character, essentially, he's a dictator, and he has built this town. He's built it through violence and through a very valuable commodity, fresh water, because he knows where it is. It isn't only violence, it sort of comes with a philosophy as well. And he is in search of something. It's a book.
You're not just educated. I never saw anyone handle themselves the way you did. I don't know where you learned it, but I sure as hell could use it. There's a little town. Just the beginning. I'm about to expand. I need expert help. I could use someone like you.
Thank you, but I'm really not interested.
Well, the people who work for me live better than any Walker ever dreamed. That's Redridge here. That's the boys, anyone. Real beds, hot food, women. Clean water. You could do a lot worse, my friend.
Thank you.
Tell you what, stay the night. We'll try a little local hospitality, see how you like it. We'll talk again in the morning.
Eli and Carnegie both have one thing in common. They both want the book. I think that's the only similarity in the two characters. Besides that, there is none.
Nobody touches it but me, you understand me?
We are representatives of different principalities and good and evil, if you will. You know, they bump heads. They're two powerful men who are both believers, but I think in the case of Carnegie, he's twisted it somehow into wanting to manipulate the people.
Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
The Western themes in Book of Eli definitely seem clear, with a dusty, noble stranger coming into town.
And the crooked local authority taking a special interest in something that stranger has to offer.
But when the dusty stranger is Denzel Washington doing all of his own stunts and fighting, while going up against the Punisher from Warzone and Commissioner Gordon, it looks like the Hughes brothers might have just made a whole new kind of man with no name.
Take off the pack, nice and slow. Put that hand on me again, you won't get it back.
You don't get Denzel to do anything, you know. You could talk with him and discuss things, and but he is a filmmaking mind happening there too.
Cursed be the ground for our sake.
So the whole idea was for him to get into physical shape because he was going to do all these fight scenes on his own. There was going to be no stunt double.
I told you you weren't going to get that back.
He started, I think, 6 months or more before we started shooting, and dropped a lot of weight, took martial art training, boxing, lifting weights, you know, and totally was ready to go.
Go back inside.
George, what's wrong? Whole company of armed degenerates, that's what's wrong. And they led them straight to us.
I just set out the good China.
China, have you got any more weapons? Weapons? I'll show you some weapons.
Initially, he thought his job was to protect this book. Not to let anybody touch it, not to let anybody get near it until it gets to where it belongs. And he also comes to find out a part of his task is to teach and to share.
Do you remember what it was like? I mean, in the world before?
Yeah.
Well, what was it like?
People had more than they needed. We had no idea what was precious, what wasn't. We threw away things people kill each other for now.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a book. Can I see it?
No, you cannot.
I just
No.
want to look at it.
I said no.
Listen, I can't even read. Come on, please let me just see it. I think she's fascinated by Eli when she first meets him. There's obviously something about him that she's drawn to, and she can't really explain it. And he inspires her, and maybe even drives her to go out and kind of escape where she's living and escape an abusive household. And I think she just starts learning from him. She learns about herself. She learns who she is, and she learns what her purpose is.
Go back!
Making comparisons between the good and evil uses of organized religion could definitely scare off some directors.
But a post-apocalyptic setting might just help prevent some backlash.
True. Now, hopefully the Hughes brothers have another winner on their hands here, and, you know, it takes less than 9 years for their next film to come out.
Poor guys. But there's only one way to find out. So we'll see you in the theater, and keep your eye on yourgeeknews.com for our review.
Put a crew together. We're going after him.
It's not a book. It's a weapon. A weapon aimed right at the hearts and minds of the weak and the desperate. It will give us control of them. If we want to rule more than one small town, we have to have it. People will come from all over. They do exactly what I tell them if the words are from the book.
It's happened before. and it'll happen again. All we need is that book.